レクイエム。
Well, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video. Now, if you clicked on this video thinking I'm talking about the Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, I am in a way. I'm not talking about like a review or anything, because to be honest, I'll go I cannot speak. I'll go ahead and give you guys my 3 thoughts on the 3 Hopes game really quickly while we get into the rest of this video. 1, the game is fun. If you played any Fire Emblem game, you have the ability to do classic or normal mode, and to be honest, the difficulty to me is pretty good. Like I said, I'm not really a reviewer, so I don't really know a lot of like aspects to talk about, but the main one is that this game is fun. It is actually really fun. The game actually gives you a bang for your buck. I feel like some of these Warriors games get a little stale, but combining the Fire Emblem system and making it way better than Fire Emblem Warriors, combining the 3 houses system and combining it with a Warriors game is fantastic. For 3, obviously the game doesn't look the best because it's on Switch. It's made for Switch, so obviously it's not gonna look the greatest, but all in all, great game. Definitely worth the money for me. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Warriors games in general. Like that, I think it's called Musou. Basically, giant hack and slash games, and they've done a lot of spin-offs, a lot of collabs and stuff. Do we still like those, or why do we still like those if we do? All right, I'm gonna try to be fair here, because I don't want to make a lot of fans of these particular games really mad, but to be honest, I have to speak my truth. I only like very select Warriors games. That does not sound like a controversial statement, as I try to kind of like give it that tone, because to be honest, I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't really like every single Warriors game, but there are a couple people that do. They love every single Warriors integration. But to be honest, I've loved Dynasty Warriors since I was young, like a really young kid. I remember the specific story. I was playing Dynasty Warriors. I can't remember which one, with a friend of mine. It was definitely an Empires version, because I think later on in life I found out Empires is the one you create your own character and then you do take land and territory. But it was on the PS2, I believe it was on the PS2, and I stayed over his house that night, and generally that's what a lot of us would do. It'd be about 4 of us, you know, running up the good old matches of Storm and the Wii Naruto, as we like to call it, just basically getting any type of different runs in with games. So everybody went to sleep, everybody was dog tired. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. This is back when we didn't really have to worry about like going to work the next day. This is back when just kids are being kids. So my friend basically tells me, hey, you know, we're not really tired. Everybody else is kind of knocked out and they're sleeping, they're tired. We can really just, you know, play this other game I have called Dynasty Warriors. This is actually my first introduction to the series. And he was like, hey, it's just Dynasty Warriors, such and such. It was Empires. And he basically was like, we can create our own character up this, and you know, basically you can join my army. So I'm be honest, when I was playing games back then, I never thought something like that could actually be a thing. Like, I love experiences when you get to play multiplayer, especially local multiplayer. They were fire, bro. They could be on the smallest TV with like the worst of settings and can be the most fun experience you've ever had in your life. Well, you know, this is how it generally felt for me. When I played Dynasty Warriors Empires, I didn't actually leave his house until like probably about 12 the next day, simply because we were playing Empires. And this is what happened. We were playing Empires. I'm not gonna talk about it too long because we need to get past the video. We were playing and we were conquering everything under the sun, you know what I'm saying? Just having general, you know, fun, and it was kind of cool, us being able to be part of the same army. I was basically like the first officer or whatever it is, like the next in line, captain, lieutenant, whatever it is. I was basically that, and he was the leader of the army. See, what ended up happening was, I think we lost, or my character got killed. And my character getting killed sucked because I literally got captured. So I started working for the other enemy. So we spent all night trying to recapture my actual unit back, my created character back, so I can actually rejoin the army. Basically got captured, and we had to just kind of basically just dominate everything so we can get them back. That's a great story for me, just simply because it's not exciting and flashy anything as far as the game story goes, but it's those little moments that make you love games forever. Now, that long little anecdote that I just did was kind of pointless, just to say that I do actually like Warriors games. It's just that some of them really are boring to me. Like, if I'm here to speak truthfully. All right, let's talk about the Dynasty Warriors franchise first, and then we'll just move on to some of the spin-offs. Now, Dynasty Warriors franchise, here's the weird thing. I've really been getting more into my Warriors games lately. When a Switch first came out, when I first got my Switch specifically, there were actually already Warriors games out. They had the Fire Emblem Warriors that was already out. And to be honest, I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. If I'm being truthfully honest, I did not like it at all. Thought it was boring, you know. Me playing Dynasty Warriors back in the day was fun, but this is boring. Even though I know some of the characters and stuff, I just did not feel like it was a good game. Then they came out with the Dragon Quest, and even that was boring to me. I never enjoyed that one either. But I say this to say this. Basically, I love the Dynasty Warriors, the one that just came out for Switch. I can't name it specifically. Dynasty Warriors 9, that's what it was. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empire. I've actually put a lot of hours into that game. Something about creating your own character and running around and conquering everything. Did not think I would actually like it, to be honest. I thought it was gonna be kind of boring. But moving on from that, I played the Samurai Warriors series. Now I'll be honest, I couldn't get into it. Like, I love samurai culture. I love like ninja culture, like ancient Japan culture and fictional Japan culture, like ninjas and samurai and things of that nature. I love that stuff like that. You know, we have like cavalry and stuff like that as our units and stuff, but I love the idea of samurai ninjas. That's just like always what I grew up as a kid. You know, watching anime gets you into that kind of stuff. So by all purpose, I should like this game. I've heard about like Nobunaga and his story like 1,000 different times, and most of the time I always love it, but I could not get into this game for some reason. The gameplay was fire, it was cool. I just couldn't. Next we move on to Persona 5 Strikers. Yeah, I know some Persona fans are gonna hate me because Persona is like my favorite game of all time. To be honest, it's probably like 3. Shin Megami 5 was great, but I really couldn't get into the spinoff. I really couldn't. I don't know what it was. I think with Royal coming up and they was actually going to introduce a character and it was gonna be the turn-based format. For some reason, I couldn't really get into Strikers like that. I really wanted to. I really tried to, but for some reason, I just felt like even though there was enough, and this is one thing I want to talk about for a second. The one thing I love about these warrior games, like they integrate the systems of the actual game they're emulating so hard. They really do, and now I feel like that's such a great thing to do. I mean, look, honestly, I feel like that's such a great thing to do. Give me systems where I can actually play, you know, feel like I'm playing Persona but also playing a Warriors game. I really felt like they did a great job of doing that, but for some reason I couldn't get into it. I don't know whether it was the story wasn't catching me. Like, I mean, I guess I like playing Persona 5. I really got ruined to any other Persona 5 spinoffs. To be fair, I still haven't finished Royal, so maybe down the line I'll give it another try and really try to play it and see if I enjoy it. But right now, it's a good game, fun game even, but not really for me. So next we move on to Three Hopes. Well, actually, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about Hyrule Warriors. I absolutely hated this game so much. I don't know what it was. I feel like the frame rate, the issues, everything about that game I hated. And I love Breath of the Wild. Funny thing is, now this is probably the reason why Breath of the Wild is, I think, my first real Zelda game that I've ever beaten. So, you know, playing that and being able to play that all the way through, and that was such a masterpiece to me. I don't think that the Hyrule Warriors was ever going to be a fun adventure for me. I don't know whether it's just my own taste ruining the project for me, but I absolutely disliked that game. Everything felt laggy, and it was much more than just the performance. I just honestly couldn't get into the story. I get what it was doing with the whole war thing. I understood what that whole situation was about. I understood the story. It's just I just didn't really like it, to be honest. And that's kind of a controversial statement because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that love Hyrule Warriors, and some people just love it just because of Zelda. That's not me. I love Zelda, and I've played like a couple of the Zelda games, but I've only beaten Breath of the Wild, but I still love Zelda games. Alright, now before I get to talk about Three Hopes and how I'm really enjoying this game right now, I want to talk about another one. Probably my first spin-off of the Warriors franchise ever. And that is One Piece Pirate Warriors. I honestly love the Pirate Warriors series. I really do. I feel like this series is so good. And that's generally because for one, if they made any anime series with like games like these, I probably would love it. They made a Naruto game like this, which they did. You know, check out my video. They made a Naruto Dynasty Warriors game. They may or may not be out yet, actually. I actually do absolutely love One Piece. I played it with a friend, and we played it all the way throughout co-op. And that was absolutely a fantastic experience. I do like the newer games. I never really got to play 4 as much as I want to. And here's the thing. I have it for Switch, but I've never played it. Now, with Three Hopes, I think I might actually go back and give it another shot, just simply because I think Three Hopes is so good. It's like probably my favorite one out of all of them now, and it makes me want to go back and play Three Houses again, to be honest. Like, I really want to play Three Houses again. I'm playing another playthrough right now. I'm playing Three Hopes, and I'm thinking I might download One Piece Pirate Warriors back again and play it again. So to be honest, Three Hopes is a fantastic game. If you're still on the fence about it and you love the Fire Emblem characters that you see in the Three Houses, you'll love them a lot more here. To be honest with you, I chose an Eldegard. To be honest, I don't know how to say her name. I chosen her because she was the only route that I never actually did. But considering this game has a whole different take on like the story in general, I definitely will be playing all 3 routes just because it's insanely fun. It's kind of addicting, a little bit repetitive at times, but if you're playing a Dynasty Warriors game, you know what you're into. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know how you feel about Warriors franchise as a whole, like every spinoff, and I'll see you guys next video.